Hi, today I wanted to talk to you about the loop stitch. It's one of my favorite versatile stitches, and it's here in the Embroidery Stitch Bible by Betty Barnden, but you can also find it online in many places. This is one of my favorite books because it has a index of stitches so you can browse through quickly and easily on the smaller images to find the stitches that you want. This has stitches for fabrics and then stitches for canvas, and talks a lot about the embroidery and all of that, but it's a very good resource. And the other video I did showed the blanket stitch. Today is the loop stitch. And let's see, there we go. So you can see some various ways that she has used it. I like it because it is really kind of adaptable. You can get wider and thicker and go around curves and fill in spaces. So for this one, you're going to bring up your thread at 1. Let's tilt that up a little bit. So this one, she's got it working the other way. I usually work the other, and I'll show you what I do when I'm doing that. So you bring it up at 1. Go to your, so you've got a bottom line, a top line, and your middle. So you start out bringing it up in the middle, and then the rest of the time you're going to use the 2 lines. So you bring it up at 1, put it down at 2, bring it up at 3, pull it over, pull it tight, not tight, pull it snug, down at 2, up at 3, pull it, down at 2, up and 3, following along your lines. So let's move that over here. And so I usually work at the other direction, so I'm going to turn it around so that it's going the same way as the way I'm going to work. So let's see, let's move that over. So here's my image. So I've got it right here. And then I'm going to go, instead of 2 to 3, I'm going to go 3 to 2. So here I'm going to go this way, like that. Now you leave it like that, and then you pull. I usually leave it a little, I don't usually pull it tight. Pull it through there, and that brings you back to basically your 1. And then I'm going to go like this, 2 and 3, leave it a little loose, put it through there. And then that's when I can kind of tell whether I've got it enough, if it's not tight enough so that it's going to be snug without pulling the fabric, distorting the fabric. And I'll keep going. Leave it up. Oh, I went a little too tight. Just back it up a little. And I like the variety. You can either be very consistent with how snug you pull it, or you can be a little loosey-goosey. See, if I do it like that, it's gonna fall down there. That's loosey. And then if I pull it snugger, it's snugger. It's gonna go more in the middle. And if I pull it a little tighter, then it's gonna fall a little higher. So you can either try to be very consistent with that, or let it move around a little on its own. So that's it. Basically just you keep going in at one end, out at the other, and looping it through. So it's the loop because you're catching the loop. So that's that. And then I'll show you where I've used it. So in this one, it's a little hard to see because it is a matching thread. So this is it here. Let me move it a little closer. And it's also right over here. Try to get the light to hit it. But anyway, so you can see that's a fairly straight and even, but at the same time, it's still got a little bit of movement with where the placement is. And here you can see a lot more movement right there. And that can kind of give you an interesting line as it's moving around a little. And then here's another one that I used it in, and so it's starting out bigger on the ends and getting skinnier and skinnier and skinnier until it gets in there, and they're just moving on in there. And it, like I said, it changes. You can change it slightly to vary and fill in spaces, which is one of the reasons I like it. Here's another one I did. So again, you can see how it's adapted from this little tiny stitch. And again, you can see I let it go unless I'm really trying to control it, which I don't think I really do. I let it go up and down and kind of undulate because that makes a little bit of a line on its own. And it adapts nicely to fill in the whole area. Bigger and smaller. So that's the loop stitch, and it's one of my favorites. So I hope you enjoy it.